Peace, family. Peace, family. First off, I just want to thank y'all for like taking the time out to join me and like to watch this video. And it's a very, very important video. And plus, like, you could have been doing like a million other things right now. You know what I'm saying? Like making a sandwich. You know what I mean? Things like that. You know what I mean? Because people get hungry. But like, so shadow work is just so important, and this is why it's like I had to make this in multiple parts, and I might make it like um make a part 3 too. Like it depends as like I keep going on my journey, because it's like we're going through shadow work every single day. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be lying if I said that like, oh yeah, I was done doing my shadow work. Like, that's a lie. Like, I'm in a shadow work workshop right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Professor C. You know what I mean? And it's like shadow work is just so important to where it's like I had to like really like write this out. So if you see me like looking down, I'm just referencing my notes just to make sure I'm still on track. You know what I mean? So in the first shadow work video, we talked about like what the shadow is, and like how like the shadow is your like suppressed part of yourself. You know what I mean? It's the things that we suppress like deep down inside that like we don't want to think about, or like want people to know about, or things we just push to the side, like just shun away. You know what I mean? It could also be like things you just, yeah, like you just don't like about yourself. So we have to understand that about the shadow. We also talked about duality. Like, you can't be 1000% light up in the time, because like you can't be 1000% light 100% of the time. Like, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, we all fall off the horse, and like the best thing to do is just remain on like that symmetrical line, like right in the middle. Like, imagine like a butterfly. You know what I mean? Like, you got that left side and you got that right side. You want to be like right. You want to be the body like right in the middle. You don't want to like be too far like on one wing, because you might fall off that way, or you won't be too far on this wing because you might fall off that way. So it's like you want to, boom, be that butterfly, like, you know what I'm saying? Be the body. So like that's very, very important. Very important, because in situations like, of course, like you just don't want to go in that bag and like bring out your shadow in a negative way, because like you don't want to create ill-advised karma for yourself. You know what I mean? Because what goes around comes around, and like you be like all up high on your high horse, and then boom, uppercut. So it's like, no, that can't happen. That can't happen at all. Talked about like what shadow work is, like just working on yourself, whether it be journaling, stuff like that. And I'm also going to like touch up on that again as well, like later in the video, because like that's really, really important. So we're going to talk about like different techniques and that kind of stuff. And then also talked about like crystals I use. You know what I mean? So yeah, like last video had a lot, but this video is definitely going to be like, we're going to go deeper into it, because like this stuff is hard. You know what I mean? Like working on yourself is hard. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy to look yourself in the mirror and then chin check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you just say like, you know what, I'm not going to let this situation define me no more. Like, that's hard to do, but it's like we got to do it. And it's not just for us, it's for everybody around us. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like it's very, very important, you know? Oh yeah, happy Mars Day, you know what I mean? Tuesday, root chakra day. So I got my root chakra hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? You go get it at cosmiccortland.com. You know what I mean? Go check that out. So, but like back to this. So like in this video, we're going to break down traumas, releasing, inner child healing techniques, and why it's important to like do this in the first place. Like, so let's just get like just straight into it. So like traumas, right? Traumas is defined as a deeply distressing or disturbing experience to you. You know what I mean? So like something that really like, this is where things become like, you know, this was like a traumatic experience for me, or now I'm traumatized from this. You know what I'm saying? So this is like where those words come from, trauma. And for instance, like trauma, like a traumatic instance for me is like a situation where I was rushed up like by the police. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something like I'm still working on, still healing on. You know what I mean? Like it's an ongoing thing. Or something else could be like seeing a family member die, or like having a family member pass away. Like that could also be trauma. Or sexual assault, um, being molested. You know what I mean? Like these real painful things. Like our traumas are unique to us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're unique to us, but it seems like a lot of us share like the same kind of traumas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so don't hesitate to like reach out to somebody just to have a conversation. Like, you don't necessarily have to be like, oh, I need I need help. Like you just say, I just need you to listen. You know what I'm saying? And then when you connect with that person, maybe they will be like, you know what? I understand like where you're coming from. Or you know what? Like, I don't know like how it feels to be in that situation, but I'm sending you positive energy. You know what I mean? So like don't hesitate to like reach out to people, because it's like when we go through these things, it like puts us in like this dark place to where it's like we don't want to be around people. We just be locked up like in this man-made closet like we made for ourselves, and we just put the shackles on ourselves, and we don't want to talk to nobody. We don't want to interact with nobody. We just want to be with ourselves and our thoughts. And unless it's like if you're with yourself and your thoughts and you're like healing those thoughts, if you're just letting those thoughts go round and round in your head, like you're just doing more internal damage to yourself, and you definitely don't want to do that. So it's like your traumas can like also come from like like childhood, school, family, work, or catastrophic events that just happen in the world. Period. You know what I mean? Like childhood traumas could be like bullying, or um, being like touched in an inappropriate way while you were younger. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. Um, or even just getting like ganged up like on sibling by like your other siblings. You know what I'm saying? It could even be something like that. Like like once again, like it's unique to you. You know what I mean? Like we all have our own different stories. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's just like it's a very tough, unique experience. You know what I mean? But it's important to break this stuff down. So like we have to do this work. We have to do this work, and I'm gonna keep just repeating myself because like I want y'all to get it. Like I need y'all to get it. Um, you can have trauma from work. You know what I mean? Like let's say it's like yeah, like you're even like that old enough. Like yeah, like you could have a new event that happened to you that caused you like a traumatizing experience. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't just have to be from like whenever you were younger. You know what I mean? Like you could have got laid off from a job that you thought you was going to work like 20 years at. You know what I'm saying? You could be like up from like a bully or something at work. You know what I mean? Like adults bully each other all the time. You know, and that's something that's not talked about that should be talked about. But that's a whole different video. So, yep, like we also got to talk about generational trauma, because our trauma can also be passed down like from generation to generation. So it's like, let's say it's like something traumatic happened to like our parents or our grandparents, and that influenced like their way of raising their kids differently. That was like in a negative way, and then boom, that's passed on to like your mom, your dad, and then boom, that's passed on to you. And it's like if we don't break that link, then it's just gonna keep getting passed on and passed on. You know what I mean? It's like hand me down clothes. So, or even something as big as like slavery. You know what I mean? That was a real traumatic event for a mass group of people. You know, and like that's what it's like. Catastrophic events as well like cause trauma, you know? For instance, like for the people who like were affected in like an event like 9/11, who did lose people, like that's a very traumatic event for them, you know? And it's crazy how like this society can create trauma for like its people, but it's seen it throughout history, you know? But that's a whole different video. So it's important to heal our this generational trauma, because if you don't heal it, right, generational trauma, like how it's passed down, now it's creating generational curses. And it's like, we like that is so important, because it's like you have to break that, because you don't want it to be passed down to your kids. And then let's say it's like your kids aren't doing the inner work and they don't break it, and now it's passed on to the next generation, and it just keeps going and going and going. Like these things is that are talked about like throughout that whole like whole entire existence of like man-made time. So it's like we have to do this. So that's where it also comes a part of where it's like doing the shadow work is not just for us, like it's for our loved ones, it's for the people we care about, it's for everyone around us, you know what I'm saying? It's for our lineage, you know. And we got to break it, because it's like there's no good in trying to like do something unhealed. Like whenever you're not healed, you're affecting people in a negative way. You're carrying around this negative energy that can latch on to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you might not even notice it, but that's what's happening. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like it's important, because it's like you want to drop that off. You want to like, you know what I'm saying? You want to drop density. So like it's crucial. You know what I mean? And then traumas also create blockages like in each of your chakras. I'm not going to go into like what trauma like could correlate to each chakra. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, like different chakras correlate to different traumas. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you could be dealing with like a throat chakra issue, and that could be, for example, of like getting picked on or something like that. You know what I mean? And if we don't deal with these things, now our chakras is like not aligned. You know what I mean? Like the energy's all over the place. We're not balanced. Now we're just totally just not functionable whatsoever. You know what I mean? And no, that's bad. You can't be like that. That's bad. Like, no, you can't do that. So next, I want to get into like releasing. Like you gotta let it out. You have to let it out. Like you can't hold that in. You can't hold that in. Whether if it's like something that makes you want to scream, whether if it's just something that makes you want to write, you know what I mean? Like to get it off, you know what I'm saying? Something that makes you want to create a song, anything you got to do just to let it out. Like share it to somebody, like share it with somebody else, like somebody that like you can like honestly say like you trust, you know what I mean? Like let it out. You have to release it. You have to release it. Even if you like just write it on a piece of paper and burn it. You know what I mean? Do that. That helps too. I do that. You know what I mean? All the time. Like, you have to release. Releasing is so important. Transmute it into something positive. Transmute it into something fulfilling. You know what I mean? Like be an alchemist with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to release. You have to release that emotion, because it's like that's what's holding you back. You know what I mean? That's why certain things isn't happening, because you're holding on to it. You got all this luggage at the airport, and then you put your bags on it saying you got too much weight. So what are you going to do? You going to pay the fee? You can't pay the fee with this. You can't pay the fee with this. You got to release. You have to release. It's like extremely important. Like, and it's hard to do. It's like, that's like one of my biggest struggles, like it's releasing. But like when it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it feels so good, you know? Like it just feels so good. Like shoulders go down. You know what I mean? You don't have all that mind chatter. Sorry, my crystal was just doing stuff. Like you know, like have all that mind chatter, you know what I mean? And it's like now you created more space for you to like tackle like things you want to get done, you know what I mean? Because you're not having all that weight with you, you know what I'm saying? You got more space in your mind for more tasks that you want to do. So like let's say like now you can actually take another step on like fulfilling like your soul purpose or your soul mission. Or now you can go start that business that you've been wanting to start, but there was something that you was holding on to that was telling you that like nah, you can't release. I mean like nah, you can't do that, you know what I mean? Like it's extremely important to release. Like extremely important. Like, share your story. Share your story. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a creator, write a song. You know what I mean? You don't gotta put it out. It could be a personal song to you. You know what I mean? I like writing poems. Like, you know what I mean? Like, writing, like, poetry, like, for me is like, just, it's like, it's a way for me to like spread a message, but then also like get, like, it gives me like my perspective on the things, right? But then like when I write my raps, right, then that's me literally just full on like just pouring out. You know what I'm saying? Like, my songs get deep, like, for sure. And like, but that's me releasing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, I'm not expected to be like big as like Eminem or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, I create this music for me because this is a way that I can like. This is for me to release, and then people gravitate towards it. That's dope. You know what I mean? Because like now, like, we understand, like, they understand me because like we're reflections of each other. You know what I mean? Like, we're mere reflections of each other. Like, so yes, like, write, like, or you could just write a book. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things that you could do to like release that's dope to you. Or like, let's say if you create bracelets or something like that. Like, you can create like different colors represent different emotions, so you can use different colors in the bracelet to, boom, you know what I mean? Like, this is, I created this because at the time I was feeling angry. So let's say I want to wear this like on Mars Day. You know what I mean? I want to wear this to honor my root chakra or something. Or I created this yellow bracelet to honor my solar plexus. You know what I mean? Like, I feel more confident when I wear this bracelet. You know, like, there's different ways to release what's unique to you. Or drawing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, like, just let your creativity flow. You know what I mean? Just let it flow. Let it flow. Transmute it and let it flow. Let it be beneficial to you. You know what I mean? Another thing I want to get into is inner child healing. Because a lot of our traumas are like, that are like really with us, like deep, is from our childhood. You know what I mean? It could be from like our parents, our siblings, school situations, bullies. Um, it can come from a whole different line of things. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like different ways you can honor your inner child, I would say, is one thing I like to do is, while in meditation, I like to visualize myself with like sitting next to younger me, like going back to a situation where, like, let's say I was mad or that was like traumatic to me, like where I was crying or something, and I went up to my younger self and like gave myself a hug and then had a conversation, like, you know, like, this situation is not going to break you. You know what I mean? Don't let this situation define your foundation. You know what I mean? There's just like different things you can say to yourself that's unique to you that will help you like heal that. Like, that's a very powerful way to heal that inner child. Another thing you could do is treat yourself to something that you weren't allowed to have as a child. You know what I mean? I wasn't allowed to celebrate like Halloween or like get costumes or trick or treat or anything like that. You know what I mean? So now when it's like Halloween, like, I'll pass out candy. You know, like, we weren't even allowed to pass out candy, but I'll pass out candy. Why? Just because like I feel like I've always wanted to do that. I just wasn't allowed to do that, you know? Like, and it's dope to me. Like, that makes me feel good for some reason. Even though we only get like 3 kids on this street. But that's cool. Like, there's different ways. Like, you just gotta look at it, you know what I mean? And just let's say, just have fun, you know? Like, go jump on the trampoline, go to Dave and Buster's, hit up the arcade, go go-kart racing, you know what I mean? Like, you don't always gotta be an adult all the time. Go have fun, you know? Like, dude, we're just grown-up babies. Like, come on, like, you don't gotta walk around all stern all the time. Like, who, like, no, why do we want to do that? Like, that's boring. That's boring anyway. Have fun. Have fun in anything you do. Like, that's a perfect way to heal your inner child. You know? Like, I'm telling you. Like, like, honor that inner child. Honor that inner child, you know? So then we talk about some techniques. Like, we mentioned journaling. Like, journaling and, like, writing letters to yourself or just writing about a situation that was like traumatic for you, or as you still holding on, you know what I mean? And then no one has to see it, no one has to read it. Like, just close the book, put it up, boom, done. Or burn it. Now it don't even exist. Like, release it. You gotta get it out. You just gotta get it out. Like, journaling is a fantastic way to do that. Like that. Like, journaling has like really, like, if journaling was a person, it'd be my best friend, because when things happen, I just have to hit the journal. I just have to hit the journal. If I don't want to see it again, then I burn it. I just get rid of it. You know what I mean? So it's like, journaling is very important. Also, meditating. Meditate on it. Do the whole visualization with the inner child. Or like, you get to be about something yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, visualize it. You know, use that imagination. Like, you have to like touch base with it, you know? Like, you have to really connect with that moment again to heal that situation. Like, you just can't say, okay, I thought about it, I'm not thinking about it no more. No, you're gonna feel those emotions, and that's one thing that makes it like so hard. Like, because you're gonna re-feel those emotions that you were feeling, and it's gonna make your chest just, you know what I mean? And but that's when you have to just breathe, like, in, out, in through your nose, out through your mouth. You know, try different breathing techniques. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, breathe through that in meditation, and I'm telling you, you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better. Like, I'm telling you, like, dancing too. Like, dancing is also a good way. That's another way to have fun. You know what I mean? Get your groove on. You know what I'm saying? Bust a move. Like, have fun. Like, you don't always gotta be a square. You don't always gotta be a square. like, like, one thing about me is, like, I love laughing. I love having fun. Like, that's just me. Like, I'm a jokester. Like, that's just one way. Like, I just multiple ways. Like, I just have fun, you know. And because I remember like being a kid, and like some situations where it was just like I wasn't allowed to laugh. Like, you know that in your grocery store, something's funny and you laugh and your mom hits you, and it be something like, but it was funny. It be like, or your mom be like, don't you say nothing when we go through that stuff. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, that's why I just love to have fun, because for those times I wasn't. Plus, I was always on punishment too, so it's like I was like rarely allowed to have fun. And then when I like did have fun, I get in trouble and then be back on punishment. So it's like, yeah, having fun is like real big to me, because like that's my like third biggest way of healing my inner child, because it like have to be like actually visualization, journaling, and then having fun, right? So it's like, why is it important for us to do like shadow work? It's because we don't want to pass it down to our kids. You know, we want to break the curse. We want to break this generational trauma. You know what I mean? We want to heal it. You know, and then as we're healing, the ones around us is going to see us healing, and then they're going to start healing because we're healing. You know, so that's why it's like we got to focus on ourselves when we're doing the shadow work. You know what I mean? Because it's like the work that we're putting in is going to affect everybody else around us. You know what I mean? It's going to be a domino effect. Like, so like, don't get too wrapped up in like, okay, like I gotta do this with my parents, or I gotta do this with my relative. Like, no, or I gotta do this with my friend. Like, no, focus on yourself. You know, focus on yourself first. Focus on self and spirit first. You know what I mean? Heal your mind, body, and soul. Like, that's what you gotta do first, and that's what you have to like really like key in on, because you're the one going through these experiences. You know what I mean? You're the one going through these experiences. So it's like, if you're the one going through these experiences, you got to be the one to be that person for you to step up, you know? Like, yeah, it's good to like seek advice from people and get a good perspective from somebody, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that helps a lot. Like, do that if that resonates with you. but don't put that higher than like how you feel. You know what I mean? Because now you're just letting somebody else's opinion like influence you out of to like how you really feel, and you don't want to do that at all. So it's like we want to drop density too. We want to drop density. So it's like it's crucial because the more we're carrying around this all this like energy like in our aura is just like just weighing us down. Like, you know what I mean? It's just weighing us down. And it's like different, like in that bad energy, like once it seeps into like your body, it could like cause different problems throughout your body. So then this is why people be feeling sick like out of nowhere, you know? And they wasn't like interacting with no one. They was safe, you know. They got vitamin C for days or whatever, you know what I mean? Like they're in tip top shape, and now they're out, and now they're sick out of nowhere. You probably got a blockage somewhere, you know what I mean? That bad energy flipped into something, you know what I mean? Disease is dis-ease, you know what I mean? So it's like we have to work that out. We gotta work that out, you know. So it's like not only is not it's going to affect other people, that's going to affect us, and it's like we walking around with this toxic energy, or we like now we're sick like physically. Now we're going to have the potential to get other people sick depending on what it is, you know. And then plus like when you're sick, you're not in the best mood. You cranky, you know what I mean? Like your shadow on high, like so I'm like be gone, peace. Like I don't want to be bothered, you know what I mean? Especially as men, man, because us men get sick, we turn into the biggest babies, like swear. So, like, it's very, very important. And like most importantly, like why is it important, man? Like, don't you just want to feel better? Don't you just want to feel better? Isn't enough enough? Like, when is enough enough? Why you gotta hold on to it? You know, like this is what I be telling myself every like day in the mirror, like because it's like I deserve to feel better. You deserve to feel better. We all deserve to feel better. Like, so why do we gotta keep holding on to this baggage? Like, what's the point? What's the point? I'm waiting for an answer. Calm down, Poppy. Dog's about to bark. But it's like we have to understand that we deserve to be happy. We deserve to love ourselves. So it was like a part of loving yourself is not just buying yourself nice things, not just doing good things for yourself or taking a bath. Like loving yourself is way more than that. Loving yourself is working out those traumas and healing yourself so you can be the best self you can ever be. You know what I mean? Don't you want to be like your truly best? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this is where it's like it's crucial to ascension. He's going crazy. Like, puppy is crazy. But, like, it's truly insane. Like, I'm just say hi, I guess. But they like Poppy's doing shadow work, you know. He's doing shadow work. I be having them do shadow, like, bro, you gotta work out your traumas, bro. You gotta work them out, you know. Like we all get to, like, but no, like back to it. You deserve to feel better, and I don't know. Well, like I understand, like this video is crazy, like it's crazy long, but that's just what it is. Like this information is just so important. So like once again, family, like thank you for like taking the time out and watching this very, very long video, you know. But just understand that we have to do shadow work, work on that inner child, you know what I mean? Journal, work with your crystals, dance, have fun. There's so many things you can do to heal. And let's understand that it's important to heal your inner child because, I mean, and do your shadow work because it's like we're like reflecting off each other. You know what I mean? We're reflections. We're all one. We're all connected through source. You know what I'm saying? Like, facts. So it's like, don't walk around with that energy. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to feel love. You know what I mean? Like, he's tripping. But like, so yeah, that being said, I'm going to go take this dog to the bathroom, you know. And thank you for joining me, watching this video. Drop a like, share, subscribe. Gratitude, love, appreciation. Peace, family.